Let's explore the topic of initiations. Now, initiations are not subject to ceremonies, rituals. They're not reserved for the chosen ones. These initiations are a natural aspect of living life. These initiations happen in everyday life. There might be some big initiations and there might be some small initiations, but that's not to discredit or discount any type or form of initiation that you experience in your life. Initiations are thresholds. It's like this line of fire that you cross over, a sort of rite of passage that you walk through. And it transforms you. Initiations demand that an old part of you must die. When this old part of you dies, something more true is revealed. It feels as if something true is born, but it's more so that what was true was already present. It was just concealed by that aspect of you that was distorted when you were living a lie. You weren't fully being yourself, pretending to be something you're not. So you see, you're only ever experiencing more and more of your true nature by walking through these initiations in life. These initiations are presented to you in many ways as challenges. They're uncomfortable. They'll stretch you. And it's only by going through these initiations that you experience a deepening into the root of who you truly are. You experience a growth. These initiations are like catalysts that catalyze your growth. Most people don't recognize these initiations. It's only after, when one has the eyes to see, they can reflect and see how these were initiations. Of course, we have some more known initiations in our life. Let me give you a few examples in my life to help ground this for you. The initiation of marriage. 10 years ago, I got married, and that is a form of initiation. It demands me to step into greater responsibility, step into a greater capacity to love. So marriage, starting a business, following your heart will always require you to walk through these initiations. Having kids, becoming a father, fatherhood is an initiation. Or if you're a mother, motherhood is an initiation. I ask you even greater responsibility than just taking care of your significant other. But now you've got kids to take care of, stepping into more provision, the role of a provider, protector, or if you're a mother, more nurturer, caregiver. So these are some of the milestones in everyday life that are a little bit more obvious as initiations. There's many small initiations that you might experience on a monthly or weekly, even daily basis, depending on how fully are you living life. So let me give you some examples of some of the initiations that I see. Let me give you some with my kids. As the embodied divine masculine, we see raising kids is really about initiating them into this living truth, right? And things that you would never think of. Last weekend, we washed my car. It was just me and the boys, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. It was time to wash the car. And that was their initiation, right? What am I initiating them into? Well, responsibility, taking care of the things that we have that support us, literally framing it that this vehicle drives them to soccer practice, drives them camping, drives them to school. And for that reason, we're respecting it, we're honoring it, we're going to take care of it, we're going to wash it inside out. So they had fun, literally getting their hands dirty, cleaning the inside of the car, mostly cleaning their mess that they make in the back seats. But they had this greater sense of responsibility, learning more to respect the things that we have, and showing them that direct relationship, that this vehicle is what drives them to school, is what drives them to their sports and activities. So we're going to take care of it. We're going to respect it and honor it. And I rewarded them. I gave them $2 each for their help, showing them that we take care of things, that we respect and love, then it'll be there for us. In one way, when we take care of those things, they take care of us. And that type of action is rewarded. But I showed them the greater reward. Yes, they were thrilled about having $2. But when I asked them what was a better reward than the $2, they sort of looked puzzled, like, what do you mean? Wasn't that the reward? I got them thinking that, there's actually a greater reward than the $2 as we're driving to a park to go to, just us in the car. I said, look around, look at the windows, Look at the back of the chairs, look at your car seats, look at the ground. Look how clean it is. So looking at this cleanliness of the vehicle, doesn't it make you feel something inside? And they both said yes, they feel good inside. So you feel good because you know that your hard work, your sweat, effort went into cleaning this vehicle. So you're actually enjoying the fulfillment of your actions. And that sort of discipline, that sort of pride and ownership is felt inside. And that's the greater reward in that situation. It beats any sort of financial reward. Literally tasting the fruit of your labor is greater than any sort of financial reward. And there's going to be a time where they can look back at that initiation, that lesson, what they learned, and see how much they grew through that, see what they really learned that day. So that was just washing the car. I take them for bike rides all the time. We like looking for, it's pretty flat where I live, so the odd hill around here we go looking for. And there's one big one by our house, and that's the challenge. So I take them to the hill, the older one, the 7-year-old. Was faced with this challenge of the biggest hill around here. And I said, you can do it, when he was saying he couldn't do it. And to teach him just to be present, be steady, consistent, to just feel that burn, feel his feet on the pedals, the burn in his legs, feel the breath as it increases the rate of breathing. Just stay present through that challenge. Gave him a goal to focus on the top of the hill, the crest that he can see, or the stop sign, or perhaps it was just the fire hydrant 10 feet away. And then after we get there, then it's to focus on, oh, the red car, just get to the red car. Giving him that direction. And keeps him steady, keeps him going forward with momentum, without quitting, without getting lost in the thoughts of, I can't do this, it's hard. Showing him how so much wasted energy goes into that resistance. How the whole body starts going side to side when you start shaking your head, I can't do it. And that side to side motion, that side to side activity, that's a leakage of energy. Instead of directing that energy forward in a straight line, keeping the bike going straight instead of it going side to side. That type of literally unwavering focus, that discipline to just pick your line and go through, commit, having the vision, the clarity, don't take your eye off of it, keep going. These are some of the deeper things that is transmitted in that challenge. It looks like a father and son going up a hill. One on his bike, my son, and one running beside him, that's me. It looks like that. And when he gets to the top and he makes it, he overcomes that challenge, experiences that fulfillment within him, the reward that he was able to do something that he thought he couldn't do. when he's able to actualize his potential, reveal more of his potential, literally just, what's the phrase? See what he's made out of. Then that smile on his face, it's priceless. And I know because I've gone through that, I've experienced that same growth over and over and over. Different sports and activities, challenges just like that, physical challenges. Where you see it's more than physical. It's mental, it's spiritual, it's emotional. And you see that if it wasn't for that challenge, there wouldn't be that growth. So he's experiencing that growth in that physical challenge. And it gets to the point where he looks back at that challenge and can see how much he's grown. That's something that he used to say he could never do. He's now doing it with ease. So that's another form of initiation, where all thoughts of doubt then are burned in that fire of initiation. The excuses turn to ashes, and it reveals a greater capacity, one that wouldn't be experienced had he not gone on that bike ride. These initiations aren't one and done. There's something that you live. This initiation is something that you continuously walk through over and over. You let it continue transforming you. Something is always dying in you, and something is always being born. That which was concealing the more true version of you, the more true expression of you, falls away, and then what remains is more of that true expression, which is revealed by walking through that threshold. And that's something that I tell my kids. Okay, well, we're gonna have to look for a bigger hill now, another challenge, right? This type of growth mindset where it's not closed, it's open. It's open to challenges. It sees challenges as opportunities. If you start seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, well, this is the way of mastery. What's another one? Biking. What do we just say there? Washing the car. Said in another video, setting the table. The initiation of setting the table. Responsibility, structure, order, engagement, participation. Right? That sense of leadership, service. You see, any sort of entitlement starts to burn away. One who feels like they're entitled to be served by others simply by just sitting down at the table, versus actually participating, teaching them to co-create. It's another one. Oh, just recently. So they made these, my three kids, I don't know if I told you the ages, they're 12, 7, and 5. The oldest one is a girl and the two others are boys. They made these bracelets. There's elastic bands that they braid. It's their art. They love making them. So I showed them that you can get paid for doing something that you love, and this is your art. And part of the process is actually, it's the creation But the other part is the sharing of that creation. And to show them that they can do something that they love doing and get paid for it, I showed them how you can take these bracelets that you made, that you shared your heart, put your heart into, and now you can share them with others. And others will support you for your art. This takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of vulnerability. This courage is vulnerability. So to be vulnerable, to open your heart, to share it with the world, requires a great amount of courage. And that was the initiation. We're going to take your business, which is your form of authentic expression in this case, to the vehicle that then transfers your art that came from your heart to someone else's heart, we could say. Well, we're gonna sell this door to door. So the three of them, I took them out just on our street. They had their bracelets and their necklaces. They had a price for each one, $1 for the bracelets, $2 for the necklaces. And now we're gonna go door to door and we're gonna just see who wants to buy them. We're gonna share them with neighbors on our street. So you tell them the price and let's see who wants to buy some bracelets or necklaces today. So we just went out for about a half an hour on the street and we started making money. People started buying these bracelets. Now, if you've done door to door or any sort of business yourself, you know, there's always the possibility, hey buddy, you know, there's always the possibility for rejection, right? So these three kids under 12 have the courage to share something that they created with their heart, these bracelets, these necklaces, with someone at the door, with the possibility that they might not open the door, they might close the door, they might say no, not today, we're not interested. That's always the possibility. But to continue having your heart open instead of closing your heart when you face that rejection is one of those lessons. It's one of the things that you would learn in that situation. The courage to speak to a stranger, introduce yourself. Hi, my name is, and these are my two brothers, and we made these bracelets and necklaces. Would you like to buy some? Would you like to buy one? That's challenging for most adults, never mind three kids who are young. So that's a form of initiation, everyday life initiations, not some sort of flashy, secretive, esoteric initiation that you might think are only reserved for, I don't know, people in cults. I have no idea. I don't know. It's in everyday life, right? For myself, initiations come in different forms. Different forms. Give you the one initiation example. That's marriage. Oh, great. Oh, the initiating into divine union at the altar. Unity. Well, that's an initiation, but I went through the initiation of bankruptcy. That's also an initiation, right? The initiation of being stripped of the label that I was wearing, as a entrepreneur. And at the time, I didn't recognize it as an initiation. It's only after. But I do recognize that feeling where it literally, as if I was wearing it on my shirt as a badge, as a label, as a name tag. Felt like when at the time it was 3 businesses, the 3 businesses collapsed simultaneously, basically. I felt that it wasn't just my businesses that collapsed. There was something else that collapsed, and that was the collapse of identity. That I didn't just lose my business, that I lost a part of me. I lost an identity at that time. Initiations will strip you of something. They will always cost you something. So those who are trying to walk through life without paying the dues, they end up bypassing, avoiding some of these. Now, they can't all be avoided, but as you become more and more conscious of them, you start walking through these initiations much more gracefully. You start seeing them before you actually are in them. Before you're walking in the fire, you don't need the fact that you're burning to tell you that you are being initiated. You see the initiation, and now you're walking through gracefully. That's the way of mastery. You're not postponing them. You're not avoiding them. You're not trying to make a deal. You know that they all cost something. But on the other side, you know exactly what it cost you. It just cost you something that was not true, something that you've outgrown, something that was already dead. And that's the price of living truth, where you're no longer living a lie. This threshold that you walk through, literally stepping over the line of fire. This fire is a purification process. It purifies you as you walk through it. In fact, some of the initiations, you might even notice that it just so happens to be when you are sick, or you have a flu or a cold or a fever and you feel like you're burning up. That's where a lot of this is actually manifested in the physical form. You're burning up with a fever, you're sweating, and you have the chills simultaneously. And there's just a complete surrender to that fever, to the fire in you. You can tell there's a purification happening. You're not trying to avoid it. You're not fighting it. You're not trying to suppress it. You're just fully present with the intensity of that fire. In a lot of ways, that's sometimes how it manifests in physical form. So there's all types of initiations. Obviously, there's the big initiation with living truth, right? Where literally it costs you who you thought you were, right? So a lot of people, that's what prevents them from living truth. And they stay at realization, because realization doesn't cost you anything. Just have a glimpse of the truth. It doesn't cost you. what it takes to live the truth. And if you're ready for this initiation because you're resonating with this message is the invitation to living truth.